I met this chick at the bar.
Yeah?
Oh, dude, she was hot. She was just like, hey,
man,
you just want to
awesome.
And I was like, yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
CIB.
Oh.
Hey, where'd you earn that CIB at?
The PX?
What?
What? It's not stolen Valor. I bought it with my... Oh!
Good morning, YouTube. So I'm bringing you the final episode on Herb Minchew. If you've watched the first two episodes, we kind of went over his claims. Now, he had an interview that was done in Cincinnati at a library. The interview, and I'll show you a little bit of it. The interview was done by a Navy veteran, which all kinds of bells and whistles should have been going off while they were doing this interview, and it never should have made it. However, it did end up on the Library of Congress. It did end up on the Cincy Library Archive site. And I reached out to the Library of Congress, and I expressed my concerns in regards to old Herb's here, all of his claims. 2 Navy Cross, Silver Star, a couple of Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts. Yeah. Now, is he claiming this to gain something? Some type of tangible benefit? Maybe notoriety. I don't know. But definitely full of shit. And I did get my reply back from NPRC. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. And if you think you know what the reply was, put it in the chat, because this is a premiere. Josh has a live going on at noon, and I'm going to do the premiere at 11, just to talk a little bit about Stolen Valor. Now, the interview was sent to me by one of my subs, and we went through it. It was painful. Listening to the stories this guy tells is painful, very painful. But you know, yeah, almost forgot. I have my cookie. I do have my coffee as well. I will drink coffee. I won't eat cookies. So, the final episode. Let's see here. What do I? Oh, let's. Here is the Cincy Library archives. Now, as you can see, they've got it right down here. They have the video unlisted now. They should have made it private so nobody could see it. But it's unlisted, and if you have the link, you can still bring it up. And here's old bullshit Herb in all of his glory. I'm willing to bet you if he took his hat off, that's going to be a mullet. I would bet money on that. Anyway, I think this is right before he starts claiming he got his first Navy Cross. So we'll listen to this a little bit.
Most of them. The ones that really stuck out were what we call the Mustangers. Mm-hmm. The majors that have been there for 20 years, mm-hmm. you know, in the Marine Corps or Army. They're the ones that knew more about anything than anything. So we kind of listened. And I'm lucky I had a Mustang major as a commander of my second tour. And
well, your first tour lasted how long?
9 months until I got wounded.
Until when?
Until I got wounded and shipped home. Okay. I got my kneecap, you know, because we were on Hill 86. I was filling tunnels. And we got, like I said, 184 Marines walked up on that hill, Hill 86, and got wiped out. 12 Marines.
I didn't know the Marines were in the 101st. Hill 86, that battle was 101st. But anyway, 186 Marines on Hill 86.
Marines walk off. The rest of them were toted off. There was some other people, Army and a couple of Navy guys, pilots, helicopter pilots that was rescued. Our total of something like 600 people. There was less than 50 left.
600 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another name for Hill 86?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
Okay. Where was that? Vietnam?
Vietnam, yes, sir.
Okay.
Just below the mountains in a Delta area.
Delta area.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
About 160 miles north of Saigon.
Okay.
What we ran into was North Vietnam regulars off the Minchew. These
Also, he's not even getting the geography right. So you be the judge. Make sure you put in the comments what you think his records are going to reveal. It's going to be interesting. And I'm not going to play a lot of this because I just get sick over it. This guy is so full of shit. It's unbelievable.
are fully supplied units,
Mm-hmm.
and we were caught with our pants down. The 175s and 75s and 125s were going off, constantly. And like I said, I earned my first Navy Cross there. We had a helicopter gig.
Check the box. Check the box. First Navy Cross. What's one of the medals that are listed in the Stolen Valor Act of 2013? Yeah. Yeah. But of course, Herb even goes more than that because he got two of them. Not to mention a battlefield promotion to sergeant with less than a year in. What else? The claims are just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. He babbles on and on and on and on. This video's over. It's almost 2 hours, an hour and 49 minutes. This guy babbles on, and the stories just get more and more outrageous as it goes. We had guys in Vietnam in 1986. Just total bullshit. Make sure you put in the chat what you think his records are going to reveal.
Hit, land in ammo dumps and fuel dumps, and everything started going off. 175s, 125s, rounds going off, oil barrels, diesel barrels.
175 and 125 rounds in their ammo dump. I know we got 155s. And the smaller cannons, I don't remember what those are. But matter of fact, let me do a real quick search. I want to say it's like, let's see, U.S. Army Artillery. Uh, 105s and 155s. So he would have been around the 105. I couldn't remember if it was 105 or whatever, but they were definitely not 125s and 175s. Just another thing that kind of trips your what? I've heard of 155s.
Everything's on fire. We dug out something like 26 people. A couple of lieutenants and captains out of the helicopters. That's where I got my cross because of them.
Because you saved their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I watched my buddy die. That was the last day I was there. I mean, I remember. Tommy, I grew up with him. We went into the buddy system, kind of. You know, we were just friends in high school, not real friends, but we were acquaintances in high school, so we kind of bunked up together. And that day, we got overrun. And all I could do was shoot. I watched him die. He got his head cut off. Guy walked in with a machete, walked up behind him.
But did you pull your commander's half a body in a body bag off a helicopter? That's my question.
One of the Vietnamese. We didn't know who was wearing our pajamas at night or day. I mean, maybe working in the cafeteria or the PX or, you know, anywhere in the motor pool. These Vietnamese would be. We didn't know if we'd be fighting them that night. I had a very good friend. She walked into the OC club and blew herself up. I shot her.
You shot her.
Yes, sir.
But she blew herself up.
Every day, every week. And we worked in teams of 6. Okay?
I'm just going to jump around in the video.
6 out in a helicopter. We have 4 helicopters. We have 4 different targets or whatever. And
What base did you leave from?
Firebase Friendly was our
Firebase Friendly.
Firebase.
Firebase Friendly. There was never a Firebase called Friendly. There was complete fabrication made up in his squash. There was no such place, no such thing. And old Herb goes on and on about old Firebase Friendly.
Friendly.
Yeah, Firebase.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It was our jump
military
point
would name
because
it.
we was in Cambodia. We could jump from there to fly anywhere. We even flew over North Vietnam. We got dropped in there. Like I said, I got dropped 17 miles from Hanoi. We picked up a general.
A Viet Cong general.
South Vietnamese general. That was turncoat. We picked him up and brought him home. Brought him back to be tried.
He was
All I know is this guy, we get these orders, we show up, here's your target. This is the face. No names, no nothing. And we go after them. That's basically what we did. And in 1976, 77, Poe, out of Cambodia, General Poe, remember him? We went after him.
1976, 1977.
You got him.
Went down to Panama. JD was the guy that handed Noriega the telephone.
Then he was in Panama.
We got called to do a lot, even after we was out of service.
Even what?
He got called to do a lot even after he was out of the service. Guys, make sure you put down there in the chat what you think his actual records are going to show us. Yeah. Herb goes on for 1 hour and 49 minutes. 1 hour and 49 minutes of complete and utter nonsense. Just some of the biggest bullshit stories I have ever heard. And we've heard a lot. Kaiser with his RPG to the grill at 70 miles an hour. 3 tours, 2 Purple Hearts. But I'm sure those stories are going well for him right now in jail. Oh yeah, next month. Next month will be he'll have some court time coming up. But old Herb here, I've done the deep dive on Herb. I tried to find some type of contact information for him, but There's really nothing out there. I had more than enough for MPRC to do a thorough records check on him. And the first time I submitted it, using my old template that I used to use, they sent me back something that says, oh, yeah, without his signature, you can't get that. No, that's bullshit. You've been giving me records for the last 10 years using that template, but now all of a sudden it changes. And I don't know how this, the government restructuring of, people that do absolutely nothing and getting rid of them. I don't know how much that's going to affect MPRC. They are government employees. They do serve a purpose. A lot of them, I don't think, have any understanding of the military whatsoever, other than looking up records in a database and then figuring out what records they can release. I have been told that you can no longer get redacted DD-214s from MPRC as third party. They will not provide those. They mainly just give you a cover sheet with a summarized service, and you may possibly get a listing of assignments. So I've been starting to get them back. I've got a 2-page template now. The second page basically tells the clerk what they're supposed to be doing in regards to the Freedom of Information Act. And I'm still getting spotty replies. There's 2 guys that I tried to do. I got nothing back, and it's been a long time. And then I've got other ones that I get the letter back that says, oh, you need the service member's signature on this. No, you don't. Not for redacted copies. But hopefully this new template I got from Mary will work better, and I'll get more response and better response. But I think the days of the DD-214s are over. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. The current administration is all about transparency, and the VP being a veteran, maybe we should put a little bug in their ear about MPRC and their lack of transparency releasing these records, because they are public record. Your military service is public record. The only thing that wouldn't be in there, and even then, would be any type of secret squirrel shit. There'd still be something in there. You were somewhere, but they're not going to talk about your missions. It's just where you were stationed, your MOS, your military occupational skill, that kind of stuff. But let's listen a little more to Herb, and when I start to get nauseous, then I'll bring his records up.
After we was out of service, we got called.
Well, after these 21-day sorties or ventures,
We get back to base.
come back and stay in base for what, a week or so?
We get R&R 3 days out of 7.
You go to Saigon?
Wherever we can go.
Where else can you go?
Saigon. We go to Tokyo if we get to. We go down to.
Go to Tokyo within 3 days and come back.
If we got 3 days, we haul ass.
I see.
I mean, we went to Tokyo, or if we got 14 days, we got the choice of Hawaii or Sydney, Australia.
Good.
I always went to Sydney.
And they always had military aircraft transferring you and accommodating.
I think it was $63, something like that, after taxes.
Did you ever write letters home?
Yes, I did. My mom sent brownies, cookies. Christmas, we always got, if I was there at Christmas, we got one of them Clayton fruit cakes, little square, She sent me 3 or 4 of them. I cut them in half and give them to the guys, The biggest thing we've got, but most important to us, was newspapers.
Sure.
News. Back home.
Hometown.
I had a run in with the county.
So you were associates in the Marine Corps in Vietnam and
All
Cambodia.
13 of us have served time together
All
somewhere.
13. All 13 in East Liberty.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've all served together sometime during the 6 years I was together.
That's how you got together, I
Yeah.
guess.
We
So
all got a
that's a real
discharge.
band of brothers that were
Yeah.
created such a bond, as I understand it, in
We say,
combat
yeah.
that you.
This interviewer needs a punch in the mouth because he's feeding into this, and the stories just continue to get more and more and more bullshit as it goes. Ugh.
decided to stay together.
Not really. What happened was everybody wound up in Tampa. One time,
Tampa, Florida.
yeah, JW had a company going on, and I got my hour free time, exercise yard. Since I worked third shift, you had to clean, you had duties.
Duties.
Yeah, you had 8 hours of duty. I said, being a
So
Marine,
tell us more about that training. And it was high quality. These were Americans like you.
taught me how to
And
read
there might have been
maps.
some people from Georgia or
Yeah,
Tennessee.
it taught me how to read maps.
Ohio.
Taught me how to read maps, how to read.
So it was classroom training too.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, how to get the navigation, communication equipment. Everything was new.
Herb would be the prime candidate to send to the supply room and ask for a box of grid squares. He would be the prime candidate. Send him out to the airfield to get a 5-gallon bucket of rotor wash. This guy is that guy. He is the guy that you, or I should say, he is the guy that you would send to do that. Because he is a dumbass.
And I got this training for 6 weeks. Then we went
So did they tell you were going to be undercover or work for Air America? Or
No.
They didn't say anything like that. You just accepted the training, not knowing what it was directed towards eventually.
we didn't ask questions. Once you were in prison and they let you out, you didn't ask.
Yeah, you were so happy to be out
I
of
was
there.
happy to be out, dude.
So they let him out of prison to go do special missions. What movie was that? Does that sound like The Dirty Dozen? But there's 13 of them. I don't know how much more of this I could take. Getting a little reflex going on there, just listening to this clown. But, I did do 2 episodes, and I did say that I would do a final once his records came back, which they did. And again, it came in the mail. I send all my stuff in the mail, so sometimes I will get digital response. Other times I will get this. I just dox myself. That's all right. I don't care. Yeah, you can see it's from MPRC, and try not to dox myself. Herbert L. Minchew, and there's the MPRC seal at the top. Yeah. So anyway, are we ready to do the big reveal? Are we ready, or do you want to see a little more, Herb? Let's just jump way up. So we're an hour and 9
You
minutes
don't
in.
see the face.
You don't see the face.
You don't see the face. You don't see the face of death. Watching the light go out. Especially when it's 13, 12. 13, 12 years old, kids, toting guns.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to my grandsons. They have the same problem we had. We never knew who was going to pull the trigger. I shit in my britches. I'll be honest with you. 13-year-old kid pulled the trigger on me. It clicked. I shit. And $5 million bounty on him. Somebody's going to collect. Hey.
And they should. Maybe. Maybe it should be you.
The
You trained in tunnels.
yeah. And for
Oh yeah, tunnel rat.
That was after my first tour.
How far would a tunnel go?
I've seen them as big as that building over there.
Length of that? That's
A
about,
hospital, as big as that building, underground. Hospitals, mess halls.
as big as that building
As big as that
underground?
building, underground, yeah.
That's about 10 stories.
Yeah.
So this wasn't just one single tunnel going from A
Losing
to
it.
B.
You couldn't do this.
I'm losing
You
it.
didn't send a bunch of guys out in the dark.
So he was actually misplaced for that command.
He was displaced. All he wanted to do was get to 6 months in, get his bird, and retire. That was what he was looking for. He didn't know he was going to get stuck at 3 miles.
Okay.
I only seen him twice. Day before and the day after. I walked in. They done had me over court martial and signed the papers.
They what?
Signed the papers.
Oh, you didn't go before a
I
trial?
talked to the 3 guys. I was sitting there talking
Three
to them.
judges.
Yeah. As the,
3 guys.
Yeah.
JAG.
JAG,
Yeah.
Judge
Yeah.
Advocate General.
Yeah. There was 3 of
3 Marines or Navy?
them. 3 Navies.
3 Navies.
No Marine. After a mile, he started losing accuracy. Well, you figure 5,000 feet. It's a good shot.
5,000
And I
feet.
have made them shots.
Over a
I
mile.
have sat on a hill and pulled the trigger. I watched the light go out. I get to see the faces. I got 63 of them. I remember.
63.
I call them my demons.
63
I-
kills. 63 kills. His demons. Ooh, this guy's a life taker and a heartbreaker. Just look at him. Let's get to the end. I want to.
But if you say Agent Orange, automatic. Big, it'll help you out. Like I said, I don't know.
So if,
He don't
despite
know.
the fact that you have a dishonorable discharge on the record, and you have, I lost count, 2 felonies and
19 misdemeanors.
those aren't necessarily.
They're not military.
They're not military. Oh, those are other. If you had a need to
2
be
felonies,
treated
but they
because of Agent
sent 'em out on
Orange,
special
then
missions.
you would qualify
Yep.
for Veterans Administration help.
I'm doing good. I ain't dead yet. It ain't killed me. Like I keep telling you.
I think
Don't
you would have
back
had to
down.
have been
Take a
exposed for
step
you
back.
to have an
Keep
illness
going
from it.
forward.
I think
Always
he's been
fight a good
exposed
fight.
to a little bit too much drinking.
But make sure you're right.
Maybe a little
Fight
bit
a
of
good fight.
other stuff.
We're coming to the end of our interview period.
Okay. Yeah, we've been at it for 2 hours.
What would you like to add?
I'd like to add that he's a
I was
lying
thinking
sack
different.
of shit.
I was a green kid behind, green behind the ears. I was 18 years old and hadn't never been out of the state of Georgia. Hell, I hadn't never been out of the state of other than military, my father, I was 13 when we moved back to Georgia. I wished it had been different. I wished there hadn't never been a war. I wished a lot of things hadn't happened in my life. But no regrets.
He probably wishes he wasn't a piece of shit and had actually joined the military. Oh, we haven't looked at the records yet, but we're going to. That's it. I can't deal with old fuckface here anymore. Here it is. Yep, I got the 1-pager. March 13th, 2025, I received, or they replied to my MPRC request. Minchew, Herbert L. I gave them plenty of identifying information for them to do a thorough records check. Thank you for contacting the National Personnel Records Center. Well, you're welcome. I'm more than happy to do it. We have been unsuccessful in identifying a military service record for the above named individual. This does not mean the subject did not have military service, only that we were unable to identify a record based on the limited information you have provided. This is a standard form letter that they send. A lot of the information here I provided because why? Somebody did a background check for me, and I had a lot of information on this guy. He doesn't have shit for a criminal record. Surprising, considering he was claiming felonies and 19 misdemeanors and all this other shit, as well as court martials and bad conduct discharges and all that. But there's nothing there. So, if you said in the chat that he never served in any branch of the military, you would be correct. They have no record of him in any service whatsoever. So, the gentleman that I spoke with via email at the Library of Congress, even before I had the records back, himself and his supervisor reviewed the interview and said, yeah, this is all horse shit. The 2 Navy Crosses are very easy to look up because the federal government has a database for the top 3. This clown's not in there. The Silver Star, that's one of the top 3, not in there. 2 Navy Crosses, Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, couple of Bronze Stars. This guy would be a fucking legend in the Marine Corps. They would talk about him as being a legend from Vietnam in the Marine Corps, when in fact NPRC said, who? Because there are no records. So, with that being said, enjoy your Friday. Like I said, Josh got a live coming up at noon. I'm going to premiere this at 11, and hopefully you enjoy it. If you run across any bullshit claims like this and you have a little bit of information, feel free to reach out. msgretired11@gmail.com. It's also in my about. And have yourself a great day.